The room is silent. At the center of it sits Ethan Cole, a linguistics researcher who once struggled to learn a second language as a teenager. Today, he's preparing to speak in 5 different tongues live in front of a panel of neuroscientists. But it isn't about impressing anyone. This demonstration will test a theory that could change everything we know about language and the brain. He closes his eyes. A sentence plays through his earpiece. In Russian. A language he only began learning 3 months ago. Ethan opens his mouth. The translation comes almost instantly. The audience gasps. But to understand how that moment is even possible, we have to rewind. Years earlier, Ethan became obsessed with one question. How can the human brain understand words so fast it wasn't just about vocabulary or grammar? It was the feeling of understanding someone the moment they speak, how a simple hello can trigger recognition, response, even emotion. What's even more astonishing, this happens in milliseconds. Ethan's first clue came not from books, but from silence. He'd met someone who had suffered a stroke and lost the ability to speak. Her thoughts were still intact, but her brain couldn't produce words. That's when he realized, speech isn't just a learned skill, it's a deeply physical and neurological event, built from predictive models and memory shaped by every sound we've ever heard. As Ethan dove into brain scans, he uncovered something remarkable. When you hear a word, any word, your brain doesn't wait to process it step by step. It predicts what it's likely to be before the word is even finished. It uses sound patterns, sentence structure, previous experiences, and a flood of micro-expectations. This prediction happens mostly in a region called Broca's area, but the entire brain joins in. One study showed that when someone hears the phrase peanut butter and, the brain already lights up for jelly before the word is spoken. This isn't magic. It's timing. Your brain fires neurons in bursts as short as 300 milliseconds after a word starts. That's faster than the blink of an eye. Ethan decided to test how far this could go. Could the brain be trained to process language even faster, maybe even in real time? Across languages, he developed an experiment. A small group of volunteers would listen to sentences in unfamiliar languages while connected to a neural feedback device. Every time their brain made the correct semantic prediction, they'd receive a tiny, harmless signal. Over time, the brain began to tune into foreign patterns, adapting like a musician learning a new genre. To everyone's surprise, the participants began understanding languages they hadn't studied. It was as if their brains were learning to feel meaning, not translate it. One night, while reviewing scans from a participant, Ethan noticed something strange. The brain wasn't only using traditional language areas, it was activating the motor cortex, the visual cortex, and even parts of the emotional centers. Why? Because language isn't just about words. It's about experience. When someone hears the word run, their brain simulates the feeling of running. Muscles tighten slightly. Eyes anticipate movement. Emotion centers prepare for urgency or danger. It's a full body event, happening without conscious awareness. That's why language can move us. Why stories can make us cry. Why a single sentence can trigger laughter, fear, or love. Now back to the present moment. Ethan's standing before the neuroscientists. He's wired to a live brain scanner. The panel feeds him sentences in rapid succession: Spanish, Mandarin, German, Arabic, Swahili. Each time, he responds almost instantly, not from memorization, but from understanding. His brain is predicting meaning based on rhythm, tone, structure, and human emotion. Every word is a signal. Every response, a proof. The scans confirm it. His brain is decoding meaning before the sentence is even finished. The prediction circuits are working like a high-speed highway system, faster, more efficient than anyone thought possible. Ethan steps away from the podium. His point isn't to show off. It's to prove something bigger: you already have this ability. Every brain is wired with the same tools. From birth, we learn language not by rules, but by feeling, by hearing the rise and fall of voices, the pause before a question, the warmth in a goodbye. This builds our internal predictive engine. That's why you can finish someone's sentence. Why you can detect sarcasm. Why you instantly understand a toddler pointing to the sky and shouting. Bird language isn't just input and output. It's pattern recognition, emotional resonance, shared memory, and most of all, it's survival. Your brain evolved to understand language instantly because it had to whether to avoid danger, form connection, or pass on stories that define your identity. Later that evening, Ethan writes a single sentence in his notebook: "We do not learn language. We remember how it feels." Because in the end, every word you hear is just a sound until your brain turns it into something deeper, meaning. And you do it in the blink of an eye. If you found this helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more amazing content.